Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're just getting some stuff ready for this week's video. Thank you all so much for enjoying last week's video and the s'mores, the caramel chocolate s'mores tart. Loved making that. It was so good. But today we're going to keep on a Disney theme, but it is so hot today. It is 36 degrees Celsius here. For those in the States, that's about 100. So it's hot. And for this time of the year, that's unheard of. So what I want to do right now is to just start getting some of the stuff ready. So tomorrow, when it's supposed to rain, I can finish this video easily. So today what I'm making here, as you can tell by what's going in the fry pan, is some hamburger. And we are going to be making Disney's Cheeseburger spring rolls. Now, like I said, I'm going to cook the meat first because it does have to cool down before we can assemble them. So I figured today, being crazy hot, I'd rather do this now and do the frying tomorrow. So it all starts off with roughly 1 pound of hamburger meat. Now I just have this in a little bit of olive oil. And to it, we are going to be adding some salt and pepper, of course, because every burger needs a bit of salt and pepper. I put about a teaspoon of each in there for a pound of meat. And we're also going to add a teaspoon of garlic salt. Now, I'm doing it fairly close to the original Disney recipe, but you can change this however you like. If you don't want cheeseburgers, don't add cheese. You don't like the type of cheese they're using, change it. That's what I'm doing. Put your favorite burger toppings in here. Add some onions, some tomato. Your choice. But like I said, I'm trying to do it fairly close to the original. So what I want to do is get this nice and browned and cooked up. I know the sight of cooking meat for some of you isn't the nicest, but it'll be done soon. So I have this going over a medium-high heat, and the hamburger I'm using is a medium fat. I didn't want to go lean because that might be too dry. I didn't want to go, obviously, fatty because we're deep frying these. So medium, good choice, and it is always a good choice to go medium when you're doing a burger. So that's doing its thing. And what we're going to do, just like you would a cheeseburger, but all the toppings are going to go in with the meat. So, like I said, you can dress this really however you like. We're going the Disney style. So it's going to have some mustard, some ketchup, cheese, of course. Now, they use like a Velveeta, Cheese Whiz, highly processed cheese. I'm going with some real cheddar. And also they put the pickles in theirs, which I'm going to do. I've got some nice kosher dill that I'm going to toss in. And at last, we're going to give it a shot of some ketchup and some mustard. And just because I like it, we're going to throw also a toss of barbecue sauce in there for a little bit of smoky heat. So now that this meat is actually almost all cooked, now we can add our pickle. Now again, for 1 pound of meat, I've got a 1/4 cup of dill pickle there. And this I just sliced into rounds and then quartered up. You can make it as big or as small as you like. Just remember, we're going to be rolling these into spring rolls. So you want to try and keep them kind of on the small side. Now, if you see like this, we're getting a lot of juice in the bottom. What we're going to do is just strain that out. That'll also help to brown the meat a bit. So I'm just going to go pour some of that off right now. Go. I wasn't too concerned about getting all of it, but I want to get a lot of it out. Again, don't want to get it all out because it'll just be too dry. So next we're going to add our toppings. So as I said, we're going to go for some ketchup, about a tablespoon. And these, like I say, change up according to your likes. Not a mustard person, leave it out. Otherwise, if I can get it to squeeze out, we're going again about a tablespoon of mustard. Looks kind of crazy in there. I'm just going to give that all stir. This will also help him to thicken it and bind it. And right now, to be 100% honest, this smells like McDonald's. And last but not least, like I said, just because I like it, I'm going a tablespoon of barbecue sauce. I'm using Sweet Baby Ray's, but you can use whatever you like. We'll make sure now it's all nicely mixed. So this part, as you see, doesn't take much time at all. The whole recipe itself doesn't take much time. But we do have to, like I said, cool this before we roll our spring rolls and then deep fry them. So our sauce now is in there. It's all nice and everything is coated. We can give it a quick little test. See if we need to adjust anything. Nope. And you know what? It tastes like McDonald's. And now our last step is it wouldn't be too much of a cheeseburger, well, without the cheese. So what I have here is 1/2 cup of cheddar cheese. Well, it's a marble cheddar. And we want to mix that in so it starts to melt. And that is going to be the glue, really, that's going to hold all this together. Now, we want to be careful. Don't want to burn anything in the pan. I want that cheese sticking in the pan because I don't feel like spending the rest of the afternoon washing it off. So we're just going to keep roughly mixing that, letting the heat do its thing. Now, so if you want to use American cheese, Swiss cheese, mozzarella, whatever, go for it. I do really recommend, though, putting some cheese in there because it will act as a binder. So for those of you who are not huge cheese fans, throw some pizza mozzarella in there. You won't really taste it, but it will do its thing. As you see, we're starting to get cheese strands in there. So at this point, I'm going to turn the heat off. And that's it. This now, we are going to transfer into the bowl. As you can see now, we have our filling bowl. Now this, if we put this into a spring roll right now, it's just going to eat right through It's not going to be easy to roll. It's going to be a mess. When we fry it, it's going to burst open. So this we're going to allow to cool. The longer you can, the better. Because of the temperature and how hot everything is today, I'm going to let this cool overnight. And tomorrow, we'll continue with this, assemble our spring rolls, show you how to roll one, and finally, we'll deep fry and do a taste. So thanks for sticking around for part one, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Hello everyone, we are back. It's day 2. Well, now you can see me, and as I promised in the last video, I got a haircut. Don't mind my shirt, got a little cornstarch. Oh well. So today what we're going to do is we're going to roll the spring rolls. We cooked our hamburger meat, and I have it right in here. Just want to give it a little stir to make it a bit easier to use now that it's all cold, because we want to be able to make sure when we're wrapping this that we get it nice and tight. So the easier the meat is to work with, the better. The other thing we're going to need, a little bit of cornstarch. That's just going to be to coat them afterwards, makes them a little bit extra crispy. And we need a little bit of water just to help seal the spring roll wrappers when we're done. If you can't find spring roll wrappers, do not use egg roll wrappers. They are not the same. A lot harder to work with as well. But phyllo pastry or phyllo dough is also a good alternative. Very, very similar. So we're just going to change the camera around and go for a top-down view so you can see what I'm doing. And we'll go from there. In the back, I do have a little pot with some oil that we're going to be warming up. When you're deep frying, make sure you leave plenty of space in there. You don't want the pot overflowing and landing on your burner and causing a fire. I also have just a little drainage rig. All it is a cookie sheet with some paper towel, perforated pan on top, so that when our spring rolls come out, the fat has somewhere to go other than just soak onto everything in there. So give me a sec, we're going to change things around, and let's get cooking. Okay, so we are back. We've opened up our package of spring roll wrappers, and these are super thin. You want to be gentle handling them. They're on the fragile side, but as long as you're a bit careful, you're okay. So we've got one taken off. I've got my water here to help seal it. I'm just trying to make a little bit more space so we can see what's going on. Now, I find the easiest way to wrap these is not to fill on the square, like if it's a square, but to look at it as if it's a diamond. So I'm standing back here. I'm going to put my filling here, and we're going to go from there. So, a good tablespoon of our filling. I don't want to overfill these, but by the same token, like I say, I want to make sure there's something in there. I bring the corner up so it's covered, and I want to pull back. You want to be gentle but firm so that everything gets tucked in. You can't really have any open gaps, otherwise everything is going to come out. And it's the last thing you want when you're making a spring roll. Now, I've never rolled spring rolls before, so this is new to me as well. Take a little dab of water, just put on the end, Now that's all sealed. Kind of like making a little burrito. Now the trick I was told is just take your cornstarch and lightly dust your spring roll. It's going to help absorb any moisture that's on the outside. And just ensure you get a really nice crispy spring roll. So, we'll do one more on camera. Again, carefully get your spring roll wrapper out. If it's torn or something a bit, that's fine. Just use that on the inside part where you're going to roll it up. Again, a nice spoonful of our hamburger mixture. So give that a little shape. Pull it in there tight. Bring our corners in. Just like that. So you can see it's all nice and wrapped up. Take our water. Wet. And roll. Pretty simple. It's honestly, I thought it was going to be harder. I've never done these before, as I said. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll up the rest of these just off camera, get my oil hot, and at the same time, I'm going to try cooking one of these in the air fryer. I want to see how it comes out in that. So, we're going to get this going. Maybe we'll do this as a speed up or something. I don't know. But until that's ready, we'll see you all real soon. Hello everyone, we are back. Our camera's all changed around. Our setup, our oil is heating up. The way you can test your oil is just drop a little piece of the spring roll wrapper in there. It basically, as soon as it hits the oil, like this, it should start bubbling and sizzling, just like that. Means your oil's getting hot. You can also, and you should, use a thermometer. You want your oil to about 375 degrees. And you want to cook these now till you get a nice golden brown. So I have 2 in the air fryer. So I have 4 more over here. So this is one of the ones we did. I'm really happy with how they came out. But now we have to be really careful. We're deep frying here. So use some tongs. Carefully. Don't drop it in. Carefully lower in. Now, depending on the size of your pot, will depend on how many you can cook at a time. I'm just using a real small one here, so I'm going one at a time. And like I say, our filling is already cooked, so we are just cooking this really till that spring roll wrapper is nice and crispy and golden brown. I don't want to move it around too much, but I do want to make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom of my pot. Again, if your oil's hot enough, that shouldn't happen. But I like to be sure. I spent too much time rolling these and making them. I want them to come out. And this is why we want to make sure also we wrapped it really, really tight, because otherwise it would have hit the oil and just opened up and everything would have fallen out. But now, as we see, it's staying together. Nothing's fallen out yet that I can see. So with any luck, we have a proper spring roll here. I have my oil over a medium-high temp, but keep your eye on it, because as you're cooking, the temp will drop and then it's going to start climbing again. So we have to watch out. We have to be careful. Okay, we're still not getting any real color on that yet. Figure it's going to take 4 to 5 minutes. And while you're deep frying, you don't walk away. You don't leave this pan unattended. If for any reason you have to walk away, the pan comes off the heat. Never, ever leave a pot with oil unattended. Now, I'm doing it on the stove. If you're lucky enough, or if you do a lot of deep frying, you might want to invest in a countertop deep fryer. You can buy them relatively cheap now. They sell them on Amazon as well as Walmart and most appliance stores. And I've seen them sell for as low as $40. But you want to make sure it's something that's easy to clean. Hopefully without the element submerged right in the oil, just because it makes it so much easier to clean. And they're a little bit safer because it has a lid. I still wouldn't want to walk away from it, but it's a little bit safer than this method. Do a little check again. You're starting to get a bit of color on there. Nice. I like to keep a rag handy because as I'm lifting and checking and everything, I'm dropping oil on the stove and I don't want that to hit the burner. So very carefully, just wipe it up. Our air fryer ones are coming along. I set those for 15 minutes at 390 degrees in my air fryer. Yeah, see, we're starting to get some nice little colors there. All I know is the house smells really good right now. Nope. Okay. I'm not going to cook this one any longer. I've got some nice color on there. We could cook it longer and get it really nice and dark brown, but I'm more than happy with that color. I've turned the heat off the oil, and the oil comes off the pan now. I'm going to spin that around, and you can see we've got our draining rig, so to speak. So already that paper towel is catching a lot of the grease. We're going to let this cool for a minute. I've got the ones in the air fryer coming out very shortly. A little better view of that. And the ones in the air fryer coming out in like 2 minutes. And then we're going to give this a taste. Well, we are back. These look so good. The house smells incredible right now. This is the one that we actually deep fried. This is the one I did in the air fryer. I ended up cooking them almost all in the air fryer just because, first of all, it was quicker, it was easier, and it doesn't smell as much. But the important thing is, how do these taste compared to the Disney ones? Only one way to find out. I've let these cool for 5-10 minutes. I know they're still going to be roasting hot because I'm already still burning my fingers. But let's give these a shot. Inside you can see there's the pickle with cheese in there. I swear to God, this is McDonald's cheeseburger. Only thing is, it's in a really crispy wrapper. This is so good. Honestly, the time it took to cook the meat was nothing, as you saw. It really wasn't hard to wrap the spring rolls. Once I got the first couple done, it was fine. Deep frying, well, yes, it's really nice and crisp. I feel the air fryer did just as good. So if you have one, $3.90, 15 minutes, it came out great. The pot, again, if you have a deep fryer, go for it. If not, use the stovetop, but just please be careful. These are really good, but they aren't good enough to cause a house fire. So, I had my barbecue sauce ready just in case they needed something. I can taste the mustard, I can taste the ketchup, I can taste that barbecue sauce that we added. The pickles come through, the cheese is really good. Next time I make these, I'm going to double the cheese because these are just too good. I really hope you give these a try. Like I say, we can't all get to Disney, but this way we can bring some of that Disney magic home and cook it ourselves. So until next time, have yourself a great day. I'm going to go relive my time in the parks, and we'll see you all later. Have a great day.